it's Amy Scott Grant. I'm glad you're back because I got something cool for you today. If you have used the Spiritual Ass Kickers Discovery Deck at all, or if you've been thinking about using it, I want to teach you about what is perhaps the most frequently misinterpreted card in the deck, okay? And it is called Under the Influence. Focus. Come on, camera. There we go. Under the Influence. Okay, and you'll notice at the bottom it says reality is clouded. So the interesting thing is when I've observed people using this deck, because we always have, like everybody at my retreats always has a deck, and frankly I usually give them out at retreat. People don't have them, but we use these a lot. A lot of people, once you start using it, you're going to get hooked on it, use it for everything, which is great because it's a magnificent tool and there's nothing else like it. But what I see happen time and time again, when this Under the Influence card comes up, people go, what? I don't think I was drunk when that happened. Or I don't do drugs. Yeah, that's kind of the first thing that pops into your head, right? Is under the influence, meaning, oh, it must be drugs or alcohol. Oh, no. There's all kinds of influences that you could be under. So I want to tell you some of the things that you should be looking for and checking into if this card comes up in your reading. This could mean that that there's maybe an authority figure in your life or someone that you love very much, that you care about very deeply. And so you could be under their influence, right? Especially if you know anything about human design. If you happen to be a projector, projectors fall under the influence a lot. Even if you don't drink, don't smoke, what do you do? Said Adam Ant. Back in the 80s. Yep, dating myself. Okay, gonna stop now. So yeah, it could be like a person, like you're under the influence of a person or an authority figure, or you could be under the influence of something that, you know, you believe to be true that's not true. You could also be under the influence of bias, like you could really, really want things to go a certain way. More often than not, when this card comes up, it's some external factor outside of you, right? That is, see the bottom, that is clouding your reality. So let that bottom phrase clue you in. Reality is clouded. So if this card comes up and you think, hey, I wasn't drunk, I wasn't, doing any drugs, I don't know what this under the influence is, ask, how could my reality have been clouded? Maybe somebody hasn't been honest with you. Maybe you were picking up beliefs from another person in the moment, because that's different from the inherited beliefs card, right? Which I'll talk about in a different video. But look, you also could be under like kind of a corporate culture, maybe at that time. Usually if it's a very deep culture, like if let's say you worked for a company for 30 years, and so you were picking up some of their beliefs, you'd probably draw a different card. You'd probably draw the one about organized, picking up cultural or ancestral beliefs. That can also be organizational, like an organization as well. So when under the influence comes up, don't dismiss it or rule it out just because it didn't have anything to do with drugs or alcohol, okay? Look for where your reality might be clouded. By the way, it can also mean, maybe it could be a prescription drug that you were on at the time that it happened. It doesn't necessarily mean something that you're still on today. So I don't want you to misinterpret that card. So that's why I want to take a minute and share with you the full meaning behind it. And by the way, in case you're wondering, you're like, wait, if it's under the influence, how do I get rid of that? Well, in many cases, if you can't remove the influence, like let's say it's a person that you're really close to, or maybe it's your boss or whatever, someone you have to see on a daily basis or spend a lot of time with. If you can't remove the influence, your next best bet is to acknowledge the influence. Like, wow, I can see how this person or situation or relationship has been clouding my judgment. And once you acknowledge it, then you're usually freed up quite a bit to go in and clear it. All right, so there's your explanation of under the influence, and I'll see you next time. By the way, these cards are available. The deck, if you don't have a deck, is available on Amazon. Or if you want to get some for gifts, they make great gifts. You can also find it at shop.askamianything.com. All right, see you next time.